Many people that I have met say that they want to make a difference and lead change. The question is, are you ready? In 1992, Dr. William Red Whitaker from Carnegie Mellon University stood up and in front of 100 people declared the possibility of building the first robot in history to enter a live volcano in the South Pole. Against all odds, a very small team of researchers, undergraduates, and graduate students raised over $2.25 million, brought together NASA, U.S. Air Force, and other organizations, and developed technology that did not exist. In 1993, the world was a witness when Dante gave its first steps. I was part of that team, and that was the first time I came face to face with possibility. Because when Red stood up and declared the possibility of the first robot in history to enter a live volcano, he did not declare it as a project. He did not declare it as a vision. He declared it as a possibility in a statement so powerful that it made many of us want to join. And that's where I learned a number of things about possibility. First of all, possibility lives in language. It is by sharing possibility, by talking about possibility, by living in possibility that possibility lives. The second thing I learned is that when you and I live in possibility, we feel significant. We have drive, we have passion, we face challenges and develop resiliency. We are extremely happy even against adversity. We feel the joy because what moves us is a new reality called possibility. You are a leader, and as such, you are destined to lead. You may lead a merger, an acquisition, launch new products, or simply lead your team and organization to adapting to change in new working conditions. You are a leader. But along the way, as you try to lead change, things may go wrong, and your initiative to lead change may fail. After researching many companies and organizations, J.P. Cotter outlined 8 reasons why firms fail. The first thing is that they allow too much complacency. There's no sense of emergence. The second thing is that they fail to create sufficiently powerful guiding coalition. The third thing is that they underestimate the power of vision, the power of declaring and sharing possibility, and they definitely undercommunicate the vision. They undercommunicate it by 10 or by 100 or even by 1,000. And there are other factors that also affect and that get in the way. But based on his research and based on these factors, he then identified 8 principles that need to be in place to successfully lead and implement change. The first one is to establish a sense of urgency. The second one is to create this guiding coalition. Bring together decision makers, policy makers, influencers, doers, leaders, people that want to expand, want to grow, volunteers, but create your guiding coalition. The third thing is to actually develop a vision and strategy. You want to develop a vision and you want to develop a strategy. And it's a strategy for deployment and for sharing and for incorporating into your organization and making it grow or helping it grow. The fourth thing is you really have to communicate the vision. You have to enroll people. You have to communicate the vision with passion. You have to get people excited about the vision and get them to want to be a part of this vision. But you also have to empower broad-based action. So you have to create the structure so that people can take initiative and can actually take action, can actually propose new ideas, can actually test, can actually generate. You also need in your plan to incorporate short-term wins. Because most projects take a long time, whether they take 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, or 5 years. We need to keep engaged, and one of the ways of keeping engaged is by getting that feel from short-term wins. So you need to generate short-term wins. You also need to consolidate the gains and produce more change. So you have to take all the initiatives, consolidate the individual gains, consolidate the gains, and produce more change. And finally, you want to anchor the new approaches into the culture. The Intentional Possibility Challenge has been used by leaders like you to ignite and inspire change in their communities and their organizations. For example, a leader in a service organization created the possibility that anyone that joins the company, regardless of their educational background, can aspire and obtain a high-level position within the firm. This inspired a number of initiatives, including an in-company university, educational assistant programs, internal co-op programs where people help and teach each other. All of this just so that anyone that joins the company, regardless of their educational background, can aspire and obtain a high-level position within the firm. Now, other people, other leaders like you, intentionally created possibilities that created a wonderful working environment where people from different departments share ideas, communicate, feel respected, feel part of a bigger community. Now, through the Intentional Possibility Challenge, leaders like you inspire change. They bring people together. They ignite initiatives that have a high impact on the company and community. In this course, you will learn to develop the knowledge and the skills that will enable you to amplify your leadership skills and lead change. In the classroom, we will have discussions, listen to invited guests, and read and analyze relevant papers and publications. And outside the classroom, you will have the opportunity to live a powerful transformation by participating in the Intentional Possibility Challenge for leaders that inspire change. In this method, there are 6 basic steps. The first one is to understand a relevant problem and declare the possibility of an ideal world, one in which that problem does not exist. Communicate possibility is number 2. Go out and communicate this possibility, inform your coalition, and enroll your volunteers. Now, number 3 is define a selected project that impacts at least 200 people. Number 4 is to make your strategic plan and design a powerful implementation and deployment strategy. Number 5 is to take massive action and cement your project and the possibility in leadership. Develop new leaders, cause new leaders, create new leaders. So take massive action and cement leadership. And finally, the 6th step, equally important, is to create short-term wins and to communicate the joy and to share the joy throughout the whole process to maintain the vision alive. Through this course, we're going to divide into 4. We're going to divide all of this into 4 deliverables. Deliverable number 1 is to research your problem and declare and communicate possibility. The deliverable number 2 is to form your coalition, enroll volunteers, and research what attracts people into your vision. The deliverable number 3 is to select your project, develop your strategic plan and timeline, and design your implementation and deployment strategy. And finally, you have a 4th deliverable where you're actually going to share your experience. You're going to reflect on your experience. You're going to see how everything we see in class fits in with what you lived outside in the field. Now, along the way, you will continue to share possibility and to begin to implement your project and establish a foundation for your project to grow even beyond the time boundaries of this course. You have an opportunity to grow, to be noticed, to bring people together, and to lead change in your organization.